Imagine walking onto the pitch already believing you've lost. Not because your team was weak. Not because your tactics were wrong. But because standing across from you was the most feared team the FIFA World Cup has ever seen. A team that combined breathtaking skill, relentless attacking football, unshakable confidence, and legends in every position. Many great teams have dominated the World Cup. The 1970 Brazilians, the 1982 Italians, the 2010 Spaniards, the 2022 Argentinians. But there is one team that terrified opponents more than any other. The Brazil national football team. Welcome back to Football Frontier. Today, we're exploring why Brazil's 2002 World Cup team remains the most feared team in football history. And why, more than 20 years later, fans still talk about them with awe. Let's begin. The road to the 2002 FIFA World Cup wasn't perfect. Brazil had struggled during qualification. Critics questioned whether this generation could live up to the country's legendary history. Many doubted them. That doubt didn't last long. Once the tournament began, Brazil transformed. Every match revealed another level of confidence, another level of quality, another reminder that football's greatest nation was back. What made this team so terrifying wasn't just the results. It was the players. In attack stood one of football's greatest partnerships. Ronaldo. Fresh from devastating knee injuries that had nearly ended his career. Many believed his best days were over. Instead, he produced one of the greatest comebacks football has ever witnessed. His pace returned. His finishing was ruthless. His movement inside the penalty area became almost impossible to defend. By the end of the tournament, he had scored 8 goals and won the Golden Boot. Alongside him was Rivaldo. Elegant, creative, deadly. Rivaldo scored in 5 consecutive World Cup matches. Whether it was a powerful strike from distance or a perfectly timed finish, he always seemed to appear exactly when Brazil needed him. And then there was the magician, Ronaldinho. Every touch brought excitement. Every dribble made defenders panic. Every pass created something extraordinary. His unforgettable free kick against England became one of the most iconic goals in World Cup history. Together, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho. The famous 3Rs. Perhaps the most frightening attacking trio ever assembled on an international stage. But Brazil wasn't only about attack. Behind them stood one of the tournament's strongest defensive units. Lúcio dominated opponents with strength and composure. Cafu and Roberto Carlos attacked relentlessly from the fullback positions while still providing defensive stability. In midfield, Gilberto Silva quietly protected the defense, allowing the stars ahead of him complete freedom. Every position was filled with quality. Every player understood their role. And every opponent knew they were facing something special. Brazil's journey through the tournament felt almost unstoppable. Turkey, China, Costa Rica, Belgium, England, Turkey again. Then Germany in the final. 7 matches. 7 victories. Not a single defeat. Against Germany in the final. The entire football world watched. Germany possessed experience. Discipline. One of the greatest goalkeepers ever in Oliver Kahn. But even he couldn't stop Brazil forever. Ronaldo scored twice. Brazil won 2-0. The 5th World Cup had arrived. But trophies alone don't make teams legendary. Fear does. When opponents faced Brazil in 2002, they weren't simply worried about losing. They were worried about surviving 90 minutes against players who could produce magic at any second. Close down Ronaldo, and Rivaldo would score. Mark Rivaldo. Ronaldinho would dribble past 3 defenders. Stop the forwards. Then Roberto Carlos or Cafu would charge down the wings. There was no safe option. No obvious weakness. That uncertainty created fear. And fear changes football matches before they even begin. More than 2 decades later, fans still debate the greatest World Cup team ever. Some choose Spain 2010. Others choose Brazil 1970. Some even point to modern champions like Argentina. But when people talk about the team they feared most, Brazil 2002 is almost always part of the conversation. Because they didn't just win. They entertained, inspired, and reminded the world why Brazil became synonymous with beautiful football. Could another national team ever recreate that feeling? Perhaps. Football always produces new legends, new generations, new champions. But teams like Brazil in 2002 come along only once in a lifetime. A perfect balance of talent, experience, confidence, and unforgettable brilliance. So, do you think Brazil 2002 was the most feared team in World Cup history? Or does another legendary squad deserve that title? Tell us your choice in the comments below. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more football history, World Cup documentaries, legendary player stories, and unforgettable football moments. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next video.